Waiting. Okay. We're live. Hello, internet. Also, hi, haters. Bye, haters.
Hola.
This is your host with the most, flying over the great Andes Mountains. It's Condor Jez. And with me, that's not body oil, that's just grease canalis.
Yes. I actually like that. Well, I wouldn't call it a description. It's like a I don't know. It's a nickname. I'll adopt it. I like it. Very creative.
All right. I always said if you were I always said if you would be like a Street Fighter character, you would probably be a cross between E Honda and the Turkish oil wrestler guy Hakan.
Yeah, excuse me. He's Hakan. He's awesome,
Hakan,
and
yes.
and he's got the best theme song of the entire game series.
And he has a smoking hot wife and
He
a bunch
does.
of daughters.
He does. His Hakan is life goals when you think about it.
Yeah.
He's like jacked, like, in excellent shape. He's like, works to feed his family. He's a family man. Has a cracking wife, bunch of daughters that he's madly in love with.
And he won't honor kill,
Mm,
hopefully.
mm. Nah, I don't think so. Turkish people don't do that yet, because the Turks used to be like the most civilized of the Middle Eastern slash Eastern European area, like that, like the top of the food chain of the Arab people, so to speak. But I think
Okay.
they've been sadly devolving during the past
Aw.
decades. Yeah.
That
So
sucks. I remember I used to when I used to work on Cambly, I would teach some Turkish people. They were fine for the most part. I didn't like
yeah.
it when I had
No,
to talk to
that's
like Saudis.
yeah, that's the thing. Like Turkish people, I know a bunch, and they're cool, but there's nothing preventing them from being the Iranian way, because
Yeah.
Iranians used to be like really civilized and really like open to the world in the 1970s, and then the revolution happened, and they're going back to fucking Middle Ages. So I think that could happen in any Middle Eastern slash Muslim country right now.
Iranians are Iranians are cool. One of my he's not my uncle. He's the uncle of my stepbrother, but I still consider him an uncle. He's from
Oh,
Iran, and he's
that's cool.
pretty
That's cool,
chill.
nigga. That's cool, nigga. That's cool.
Anyways, how have you been?
Well, I've been fine. Actually, better since I don't. Well, I still have a Twitter account, but I have been locked out for a week for accurately describing people and telling SJWs what I would love to do to them. Come on, is that a bad thing? Am I supposed to be ashamed of that?
Oh, honey, we know that SJWs aren't real people.
There you go. Always remember what this Finnish mercenary said when somebody asked him what it felt like to kill a human being. He was like, I wouldn't know. I only kill filthy commies.
Same sentiment.
Mm. But yeah,
Same.
since I don't have a
I'll
Twitter
just say
account, I live better. I think Twitter is bad for you. Like I don't even know why I'm there. Like yeah, I
I
think I'd
know.
probably kill it.
I wish I could go back, but the temptation to just bully the fuck out of troons and troon
Yes,
groomers
that's the
just
thing. Like it's
yeah.
I some people can stand the temptation. I can. Like I see those stupid motherfuckers, and I just have to bully them. Just have to bully them, man.
Because they deserve to get
They
bullied.
deserve. It's like that's why they keep winning. That's why they keep appropriating cultures and fandoms and shit, because nobody stands up to them. They're like, well, no, they can't. We can't stoop to their level. Or it's just like that's the thing. Like you are never willing to go all the way like they are. You know. Hi, Paulo Costa.
Hey, it's our Portuguese guy.
Obrigado for being here.
He says, "Greetings, fellow business
Biggest,
bigots."
biggest, biggest.
Yes,
Ironically enough, bigote in Spanish means mustache. So, moral
Right
of the
back at you. Right back at you, our porch goose. Just sitting on the porch. Like the opposite of a porch monkey. He's our porch goose.
I understood that reference.
Mhm. But yeah, keep keep being faithful, and maybe one day you'll get the coveted Jeffrey E. Epstein staff shirt, island staff shirt, which we gotta talk to the big man if he ever
Hmm.
comes on.
He better
We
come on.
got,
This is
mhm.
his goddamn show, and if he doesn't, I'm gonna. Well, no, I'm not gonna say anymore
No,
because
this is his show that he gladly let me take over
this is true. This is true.
with my troonish ways. But at least I'm a good troon. I'm not the type of troon that goes up to little kids and say, "Hey, every cool you be trans. Yeah, just chop off your boobies and your dick and be."
Oh, watch me shake my half naked ass. If you don't watch me shake my half naked ass in front of you in class, you may grow up to become a homophobe and you wouldn't want that, would you, little Timmy? Now suck my dick.
All
Yep,
right.
that is actually a thing. And yeah, I'm glad you're not one of them.
I'm glad
Yeah,
too because
yeah.
I'm trying I'm still subscribed to a bunch of like troon uh subreddits on Reddit, and I'm trying not to get banned from Reddit now.
It's like, I remember I was, well, not hanging out. I was like looking at Buck Angel's Instagram and he asked a very important question. What the hell is going on with the trans collective or the trans community? Because he's trans. He used to be a woman. He used to be a porn actress in the '90s, and then he transitioned, and he's now a dude, and he looks kind of like J.K. Simmons, if I may say so myself.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty chill guy, and he was a troon back when like being a troon wasn't a big deal. Like you just transition and live your life as the opposite sex, and that's it. But nowadays, like, seems like being a transgender person, and that's what I told him in the comment section, is first and foremost a militant position. Seems like the very first thing they teach you when they teach you about gender theory, I guess, or like whatever the fuck they call it, is that you should be wary about transphobes because transphobes are everywhere. They were like waiting under your bed and like buy a gun to defend yourself from transphobes. Like they instill this like fear and like warlike mentality into them, and I think that's what's going on. Like they become like
Yeah.
hostile.
Yeah, and when I point out that I'm openly trans in a South American country and I
Yeah, that's
haven't
that's
died
fine.
yet, I haven't been beat up, I still can go in. I keep saying this before. I can still go into buildings, I can still buy stuff. No one like refuses to serve me or calls me names, except that one instance in Arequipa where the combi driver called me milk because I'm white.
But that was more racist than transphobic, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you are an openly trans person in a third world country. Like you should live your entire life in fear. And
I
turns out,
know.
turns out, like,
Why am I not tossed into a ditch? And they keep shouting trans rights, and I'm like, well, I live in a pretty I even though we're run by Marxist scum, it's still a pretty conservative country. Why am I not dead yet, walking around, just being my true self? Huh?
because turns out, in my humble opinion, that 99% of the people you're gonna encounter during your lifetime don't actually give a fuck about that because they have more important problems to worry about. Like keeping their jobs and
Yeah.
feeding them families and whatever. Like, hey, did you know that your neighbor has decided to dress up as the opposite sex and wear wigs and whatever? Like, why would I care? Like, I have actual problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sentiment is shared for like 90%, 99% of people.
Yeah. That's also the down part. I mean, not only do we have true groomers, we also have priest groomers, the OG
Yeah,
groomers.
the OG groomers. Yeah, no, I don't doubt that, Paulo Costa, because apparently the progressives are now sacrificing the church that actually supports them, because everybody knows that fucking what's his name, the Pope, Francisco, who by the way is an Argentinian. We all know that he's a filthy globalist progressive, right? And he's for like
Well, not so fast. Not so fast. We actually news out of Vatican. We will get to in a
oh
little bit.
oh
So
okay.
hang on tight. I guess now we have to get into the meat and potatoes of things. First off,
Drum roll.
they're not. The tabs are not the right thing. I forgot to scroll up.
This fucking sucks.
Quick goodbye. The Wire star Lance Riddick. Also, he's black. He's Black Albert Wesker, and I guess Black Zeus too. He dead.
Fucking sucks, man. He was
On
Woody Strode
Kurtmas as
incarnate.
well.
Yeah, what a fucking way of to celebrate Cartmas, dude.
But yeah, he was found dead at his Studio City home on Kurtmas morning around 9:30 a.m. His cause of death is currently unclear, but law enforcement sources says it appears to be a natural. I knew it. Climate change. That goddamn climate change.
No. It's probably video games. Probably video games and cold showers, don't you know?
No, maybe he was a white supremacist. I mean, even though he's black, maybe he has held some white supremacist views.
Well, you know, just like Eric July, nowadays being black doesn't preclude you from being a racist against black people. Apparently, fuck this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have midnight in the comment section.
Whoa, what?
Yep. Check this shit out.
The priests who were subject to the concept of singularly molesting boys, they were homosexual pedophiles who infiltrated the church for an easy hunting ground. Basically, and that's technically what's that's basically what's going on in the trans community. We got what is it? Discord mods. That's the YouTube friendly way of calling them. Discord mods in the Troon community, seeing all these young gender confused children and saying, "Yeah, no, you should be trans. I can help you with that." Yeah.
Here. Yeah, I can totally picture them speaking like that.
Yep, they actually do.
I believe you.
Ironically, the Catholic Church wanted the Portuguese taxpayer to finance their world youth journeys in Lisbon. I don't know what that is, but yeah, perhaps. But yeah, the climate change or video games or white supremacy must have gotten to Lance Riddick. So
Well, didn't they say that white supremacy and racism they put so much stress on black people that it actually killed them of heart attacks?
who knows?
I'm sure they said something equally stupid at some point.
Maybe it could be a combination.
Yeah, it's
Because
everything
they say
except that one
natural
thing.
causes, not natural cause. So
Oh, there you go.
it
Well,
could be
it's
more
it's
than one.
it can be anything except that one thing we're all thinking about. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely not that thing.
He probably got the booth. Most likely.
I mean,
Unfortunately.
everybody, most people in Hollywood did probably.
He seems like a nice guy, you know. He seems like
Yeah.
a nice guy.
No, I actually really liked him whenever he was on screen. Like he had great screen presence. He had a great voice. And you know, it was like I was gonna say earlier on, he was like the reincarnation of Woody Strode. You guys know who Woody Strode was?
Not
Well,
no.
he's was a classical actor. Was in like Soldier Blue, was it? It wasn't like a bunch of like classic Western movies like The Professionals, with Burt
Okay.
Lancaster, and yeah, he had like he has like that had like the same build. He was like this black, lean, like stone faced black guy with like this really magnetic face, like you couldn't stop looking at him, and that's he reminds me of this guy. Actually, I think Woody Strode inspired, for example, the original character of Mr. Halloran in The Shining.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
played
that's
by played by what's his name? Scatman
Scatman Crothers.
Crothers.
Scatman, yeah, but I
I
think the
know.
original. I
Yeah.
think if I'm not mistaken, the original character was supposed to be like physically based on Woody Strode. You know,
Okay. I only know Scatman Crothers because he did the voice of Hong Kong Fooey.
I know what other movies has he done? Like he was Mr. Halloran in The Shining and Hong Kong Fooey, and that's it, right? Like I don't even know the
Oh,
guy.
he was also like some kind of jazz musician, hence his name Scatman,
Oh, okay.
I think.
That makes sense.
Anyways, the big story. The big, huge story.
It's the huge story, folks.
Yeah, there it is. As I said, StreamYard, get your fucking tabs list in order. Because I have them all in order on top of my page, but not in the viewing window so I can find them. Yeah, can you still fix that? Anyways, Trump says illegal leaks. Fuck. Trump says illegal leaks indicate he'll be arrested Tuesday. He made a post on Truth social media that the Manhattan DA investigated alleged hush money payments he made to Stormy Daniels. Is I need you to I need your Trump voice, Canales.
Corrupt and highly political.
Very good.
Thank you.
Former President Donald Trump says leaks indicate that he'll be arrested on Tuesday next week after reports said the Manhattan District Attorney's Office is preparing to issue an indictment for alleged hush money payments Trump made as a presidential candidate in 2016. Uh, on Saturday morning, Trump posted about a possible indictment on Truth Social, indicating that he will be. I need your Trump voice again.
Okay. Arrested on Tuesday. Now, illegal leaks from a corrupt and highly political Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which has allowed new records to be set in violent crime and whose leader is funded by George Soros, indicate that, with no crime being able to be proven and based on an old and fully debunked by numerous other prosecutors fairy tale, the far and away leading Republican candidate and former President of the United States of America will be arrested on Tuesday next week. Protest, take your nation back, spoke. Nation back, spoke. It's the hugest nation of all.
Trump wrote. So Trump's spokesperson echoed, saying, "There has been no notification other than illegal leads from the Justice Department and DA's office to NBC and other fake news carriers that George Soros funded radical left Democrat prosecutor in Manhattan has decided to take its witch hunt to the next level."
So, if I'm getting this correctly, is gonna
Mhm.
be arrested for paying a porn actress to shut up about his affair with her.
Yeah,
How is
this,
that? How is that illegal?
I don't know.
Hey, can you shut up? Well, if you pay me $50, okay, here's $50. Shut up. Okay, how is that illegal?
I don't know. Let's see. A court let's see, a court source told Fox News that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, oh, this piece of shit is the guy
Yeah, this is the
who
first time
left
that
at
I've heard his.
that old Puerto Rican guy after he
Oh,
shot the upstanding gentleman who tried to show him his cool knife after
yeah.
the I guess his girlfriend, another upstanding citizen, tried kept getting declined for like baby formula or something, and she decided to file a formal complaint to her upstanding citizen boyfriend who came
Right,
down
right, right.
to
Well, yeah, I get it. I get
lodge
it.
a formal complaint. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the kind of person that has turned my favorite city on earth into a fucking dump. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And for that he is
Yes.
now my enemy.
Yeah. They're gonna meet with law enforcement to discuss logistics for sometime next week, which could mean they are anticipating an indictment next week. All this is because all this is because uh he alleged hush money scandal involving porn star Stormy Daniels,
All right.
which
Midnight in Exile in the comments says that the asserted illegality is that the money was from a pool shared with his campaign money. Okay,
yeah.
okay, well, I can see how that could be iffy, but it was shared, like it was a pool, like may as well he been like this is. I mean, come on, can we all admit that this is bullshit? Like politicians do this kind of
Mhm.
shit all the time. Not to mention the bullshit that the
It
Democrats
is.
do, and it's never looked into. Like, okay, whose money you think it was that Hunter Biden paid those hookers with, and all that fucking crack? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying do not investigate Trump. I'm just saying that if you are really concerned about this type of bullshit, there's a lot of things that you should have taken care of before reaching this particular case, and you haven't. So I don't know. It doesn't seem to be like you have any principles, just objectives, to quote Short Fat Otaku.
Yeah. Well, on my conspiracy site, um, yes, there's a couple who are hoping that Trump gets jailed and drops the soap and all that, but a lot of people, uh, we are pretty sure that this is a smokescreen covering up more things because we've had those the SVB bank failure, and
Yeah,
now
yeah, that makes
and
sense.
we have another story about another bank that's almost on its way out. Also, Hero 92694 Abel, hello,
Hola.
says bold prediction: he's not going to go to jail. He's not going to be arrested. This is all just a play. Yep, it's all just a ploy or a diversion from some swifty shit the demon rats are doing. Most likely, related to another article we will hopefully get to soon after we get through all this Trump nonsense. Is what is it? The feds are actually setting up some type of program that is like the beginning of C, the CBDC, the central bank digital currency,
Uh,
like the first step. But yeah, or something with China and the Bidens and whatever.
yeah, I just want to go live with the Amish now.
I'll just say that he hasn't figured out that this would also boost Trump's popularity and bump. Yeah, that's basically what's gonna happen. They make Trump out into like a martyr. He's going to his second term is guaranteed. DeSantis is going to be in the dust.
And I like DeSantis.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should trust him because apparently all the Rhinos have his back. I don't know. Is that true?
Mhm. Well, my thing is that although Trump although Trump tried to run the country like a business, I think we also need someone. We need like another former military guy.
You need a Pinochet, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So do we, and so does Canada. So does I
I
mean,
needed I need a Tio Augusto.
I mean,
Tio
it's
Augusto did
self-sufficient.
nothing wrong.
Tio Augusto,
Oh,
can you say that? Because I know you can't, by any measure of
no, no, no.
imagination, say that
You
the
know what?
Austrian corporal,
Fuck it. I'm in Peru. Fuck the Chileans. We hate
especially,
all my homies here in Peru hate the Chileans because they took Antofagasta from us and
Oh.
Bolivia's coastline. So fuck the Chileans. And they claim that Pisco is
Wait.
Chilean.
Are you saying that South American peoples like conquer each other and steal land from each other?
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a shock.
I mean the I mean um the Argentinian government, the place where I want to move to, Mendoza, they gave like a huge area to the Mapuches, which
Hmm.
haven't been in that area for like hundreds of years. Actually, they invaded that area and the government like literally gave them an area that includes like an oil refinery or something like that,
Right.
some type of energy. And yeah, they
Yeah,
don't
well,
they
Chileans. We don't trust Chileans. Why are we saying that now?
yeah,
Does it anything to do with
fuck
Ethan Skyward? Are we
Chileans.
okay? Fuck Chileans. Okay. Are we
Oh,
gonna talk about
actually,
what they did to Ethan Skyward? Is that on the roster
oh
tonight?
shit, I should find that that article about the Frogman and how he made the Chileans mad.
Yeah, but yeah,
But yeah,
that's
fuck the Chileans. Uh, Tio Augusto was right.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, there's by any measure of imagination, you may say on YouTube that certain Austrian corporal who liked watercolors may have had a point. Like, not saying he did something right, but may in some of the things. I mean, fuck, the guy was against capitalism, so fuck you, you fucking hypocrites.
Mm.
But I think you are still allowed to say that maybe Tio Augusto had a point in some of the things that he did, right? I think we're still allowed to say that.
Also on the screen, here's the slack-jawed potato who's trying to
Oh
make
yeah,
himself
I
the
know
big
who this
man.
guy is. Yeah, I know who this guy. I know him. Yeah, I remember. I think, what a fat fuck. Yeah, I remember that.
Let's see.
And I usually, I usually don't make fun of people's weight because I'm a chunky guy myself. But to
You're a
quote
fat.
Bianca,
You're a
I'm
fat. You're not allowed to be. You are allowed.
well,
You
I
are
have fat
allowed to call
privilege.
your fellow fats, kind of like the
Yes,
blacks call each other
yes,
the N word.
yeah. I can call this guy a fat ass. I can call this guy a lard ass. I can say that this guy seems to have like a baloney bar around his neck. So yeah, to quote Bianca, who's sometimes with us, I'm allowed to talk about your weight when your weight is clearly the product of your character flaws. And I think this is the case. I think this man's character flaws are what left him to what led him to look like a fucking chocolate marshmallow.
Yeah, and he's
Fuck you,
also
Alvin.
brainwashed by critical race theory.
Oh, fuck you, tries, fuck you, tries, Alvin. And Hero says,
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm just enjoying some some gummy bears. They're so tasty. It's true. They're all the rhinos have his back and DeSantis cannot be trusted.
it's sad to
Indeed.
say. I mean, it's my favorite governor right now, but yeah, it's like,
Then he says, "I really do despise DeSantis. I don't trust him at all. Also, he's friends with Bob Iger, the guy who made Disney crap before Bob Paycheck,
paychecks. It's
Chapek,
a good one.
and now he's back at Disney."
Huh.
And
Yes,
here's a
huh?
zinger from the Midnight Man.
Oh, shit.
You read this one, Canales.
Okay, let me see if I can make Midnight's voice. Take a look at this guy. Take a look at this guy and tell me he's ever stood for anything but another jelly donut. Do I sound like Midnight?
Midnight. Clearly, he is a gentleman who prefers a Bavarian cream or one of those cream-filled long johns, the long donuts with the chocolate on top.
It's like, I think Midnight
Don't
would
don't be
comment on
donist. Don't be donist. Don't
he donut.
assume his don't assume his donut preference, Midnight.
Don't be donutist. Maybe he's into like bagels. You make me sound like Ben Shapiro. Yeah, because I talk really fast.
You're the leprechaun Ben
You're
Shapiro.
like you're like the Irish. Like he's like the Ben Shapiro is like an angry Yiddish leprechaun, and you're like the real deal. You're an angry leprechaun. Period.
No. He obviously, if Ben Shapiro is Jewish, he has to be a goblin, as we've seen in Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, I love that shit. Why did you make all the bankers Jewish? They're not Jewish, they're goblins. Yeah, but they have really big noses and they like money. I'm not saying that Jewish people are like that. You are.
Hmm. Does
Uh, does that
the Khazar milkers are a trap? Do you
do not do not trust?
do
Look
you,
at me,
do you
brother.
wonder why? Do you wonder why the Judaism gets spread through the matrilineal line? That's because of those Khazar milkers.
Look at me, brother. Caesar miracles are designed to trap you into a life of slavery and socialism. Do not follow the Khazar milkers.
Yes, what is worth it to you? The Khazar milkers are being yelled at by a shrill voice, or they Midnight, why haven't you picked up the milk? It's for sale.
Oh god, that's like the nightmare version of Kyle Broflovsky's mom.
What?
What? Kyle?
Midnight, why haven't you called your mother? Go call your mother.
Please stop it. You're scaring me. I don't think I like Jewish mothers. I'm scared. I need to go pray. I need to go pray.
It better be to the cat. It better be to the Basque gods, Mari and
Oh god.
Sugar and Inguma,
You
the god of dreams and nightmares.
you know I worship the black goat because she bestows me with endless virility.
I thought he. Anyways.
Oh yeah, he actually yes, Ackerbells. Yeah, I'm still thinking in Lovecraftian terms. Fuck that. I love you, Howard, but fuck you. The black goat is a guy. It's a guy. It's not a lady.
Now you like Bamaffa, who both has a penis and a vagina and a set of banging titties and
Okay,
a goat head.
I can work with that.
Anyway, speaking of slack-jawed idiots, Maxine Waters, Trump's indictment post like he's attempting to organize his domestic terrorists.
I'm sure he is. Wasn't this Ho the one who said don't stop fighting or something like that during the BLM riots? I think that
Something
was
like
her,
that.
right?
I wish I could play the video, but I don't. You
I'm
copyright
gonna
strike.
I'm gonna I'm gonna continue doing the thing that had me suspended from Twitter for a week. Fuck you, Maxine. How about you fucking choke on a massive? Okay, I'll shut up now. I think we're already demonetized
Oh
now.
yeah.
But fuck you, fucking hypocrites.
Well, no, the
It's the
bitchy.
hypocrisy. It's the fucking hypocrisy that angers me, dude.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're free to believe whatever the fuck you want, but don't be a fucking hypocrite because that makes me sick.
Huh. Media mogul David Geffen marries 30-year-old boyfriend.
Oh,
Okay. Right there. It's not a bad.
that was a fucking pretty fucking jack 30-year-old boyfriend, Jeff. Congratulations, I guess.
Yeah. Woo.
Ew. Ew. I mean, when Madonna does it, it's fucking creepy. When Giffen does it, it is not less creepy.
At least he looks good for 80.
Yeah, I mean, it looks better than Madonna.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, on Saturday's broadcast of MSNBC's Saturday Show, Representative Maxine Waters, obviously a California Democrat, reacted to Donald Trump's Truth Social post earlier in the day on the reports that he'll be indicted soon by stating that by making the announcement itself, it's almost like he's attempted to organize his domestic terrorists to show up and to resist him being arrested. And perhaps he was trying to organize domestic terrorists to protest his arrest. Not true. Most likely, if shit happens, most of it will be like actors and feds and Antifa plants.
Can we agree that it's gonna glow more than a fucking Christmas tree?
Yeah, I think it. I
gonna
think it'll be
fucking
glow
glow.
more than Chernobyl.
It's gonna fucking glow, dude. It's gonna be, hey, how are you doing, fellow Trump supporters?
Yeah,
Hello, fellow maggots.
like that one picture from that one rally where everyone's like wearing khaki shorts, a button-up shirt, and like an Apple smartwatch and sunglasses.
They're like, "Hello, fellow Trumpers, fellow maggots."
Yeah, and let's see. Waters said most people have never seen or believed that we would have a president who has acted in the way that he has, who has disrespected the Constitution of the United States of America, who has lied, who has tried to organize. False, 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 false.
Excuse me, Mrs. Waters, and I'm being exceedingly kind with you because I think you're a piece of shit. Didn't Joe Biden get like a letter signed by 17 different district attorneys from 17 different states telling him to chill with the executive orders because that's not how the US is run? Like we don't have an emperor here that's just like signs one executive order after the next in the hopes of like completely restructuring the country. You piece of shit.
No, nope.
I mean, yes, like that happened, right? Like several different district attorneys wrote a letter to Biden
Yeah, yeah, but she
telling him,
claims
"Oh
she'll
yeah, no, yeah,
claim
of
that it
course."
never happened.
I mean,
Anyways,
as far as I know, in all my lifetime, Biden has been the only president that has been low-key accused by a bunch of political figures of being a
all,
fucking tyrant, like
mhm.
with an actual basis. Like, hey, dude, like you're
Yeah.
actually trying to
All
become
I
one.
see, all I see from Representative Waters is projection.
Oh no, they always do that shit. They always accuse you of what they do.
And then she added, I just wanted to have you understand that perhaps he was trying to organize domestic terrorists to protest his arrest. Uh, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, anyone?
I
Hello?
always bring up the chas and the chop, and I
Don't
think they're
forget
still
Cop
going on.
City. Oh man, I wish I could. I don't have an. I couldn't find an article about that, but apparently a whole bunch of Antifa like invaded that place, and now they're gonna invade other places now.
What place again? Sorry,
And
I
they
didn't.
keep saying that it's an idea.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. What place did they invade?
Cop City in Atlanta, that park that they want to turn into like a police training facility.
Oh shit. Well, I'm not sure if that's an entirely bad thing because I don't, the only thing that I brought with me from my days as a filthy leftist is my dislike of cops, and I think that puts me at par with like hardcore American libertarians. I know there are good cops, but cops as a whole, like I don't really like them. So and I think
You've been in the Spanish law system.
yes, I have been in a Spanish law system. I've been targeted by both regular cops and riot cops. I've had friends brutalized by riot cops, put in a cell without their insulin, which almost killed them. And until the guy was going into anaphylactic, then I want to shock.
A
Until the guy was going to
hypoglycemic
shock.
shock.
Yeah, basically, I don't like cops. So they are the ones who allowed the riots to happen. They are the ones who kept you locked up at home, even though that went against the Constitution. They are the ones who forced you to close your businesses, etc., etc. And only a handful of them stood up and said, "Hey, we are policemen. We are not mercenaries. We are not allowed to do this. We shouldn't be doing this."
Okay. Hero says, I already told a I already told a bunch of people on Twitter that they should just withdraw their money from banks and not go to work on one day in unison to send a message.
Yes, that's a much
I
better idea.
mean, it could work in theory, but in practice, I don't know.
I'm gonna channel my inner midnight here and say that the time for protest is long past. If you want to protest, that's fine, but that's not gonna do shit. It's yeah, it's
It's gonna
I
be a
think it's
trap.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's like January 6th. Like I don't know what the hell is yes. See? That's what I mean. Like I don't know what was the deal with that, but it's almost as if Trump himself like set up the trap. Like what did you think
Hmm.
was gonna happen? And I don't know.
No,
It's complicated. It's a complicated
yeah.
subject.
Wait, what if it was proven that maybe that tweet was spoofed?
I don't know, man. It's like cops,
Like
I
somehow
never.
they hacked into his account and posted that.
But he would have said so, right? He would have said, "Hey, that wasn't me. I was bigly hacked by the deep state
Maybe, maybe,
operatives.
maybe he knew, but then he was told not to.
I don't know. I just don't trust politicians, same as I don't trust cops.
Yeah.
She always
And
sounds like
yep,
in her own
he,
bullshit
yep.
because it's full of
hmm
shit. I
I
mean,
don't know why her name isn't Maxine Septitank instead of because it's more accurate.
Maxine Grey Waters, perhaps.
Maxine Blackwaters, because that's what they call. That's what they call. That's what they call sewage.
Or Black Waters. Black Waters. Oh shit! Can you call a black lady Black Waters? Is that racist? I hope it is.
Oh, I mean it's. I mean, there's black people who have the last name of Black Man
I know, dude.
or Blackwell. Anyways, even black. Anyways, Speaker McCartney threatens federal probe if Trump arrested. Pence, Green, Graham, Moore blast prosecutors. So, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said an indictment would be an outrageous abuse of power by Bragg, noting he would direct committees to investigate whether federal funds were used to interfere in the 2024 presidential election with politically motivated prosecutions. Um, I don't know what to think about Kevin McCarthy. He seems like a good guy, but eh.
He always struck me as a rhino. Sorry, but apparently Trump
hmm
trusts him, so I don't. I'm never sure if I'm like watching an actual political confrontation or if it's just a WWF thing in like at a political level. Like there, it's all pretend. Like like DeSantis fighting against this, no one is actually friends with them, or like Tucker Carlson is friends with the Bidens. I don't know.
Mm,
I just don't trust anyone anymore. Anymore.
right. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted Saturday that Trump did nothing wrong and claimed with no evidence Justice Department officials were coordinating with uh, the district attorney Alvin Bragg to indict Trump, saying, "This is what they do in communist countries to destroy their political appointments." And
Hmm. Yes.
she's not wrong. Matt Gaetz from Florida said Trump used his own money to resolve a private dispute and called a possible indictment an absurd abuse of the criminal process in our politics, which is objectively true. Then Chip Roy from Texas says a politically motivated decision to indict Trump is based on strained, convoluted legal theory and suggested without evidence a politicized justice system is being weaponized against Americans. True. And Richard Grinnell, our 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 fag. Yep.
Our bag. I don't
Yep.
know who that is actually.
He was the former director of U.S. National Intelligence while he was in Trump, and he was like the first openly gay man. But people don't like him because he's obviously conservative, and he's
Mm,
not like he doesn't like walk around in bondage gear or dress up in stolen dresses from African ladies. He's just your normal red blooded American who just happens to like dudes.
I mean, considering the state of American women, can you blame him?
And he prefers his dudes of a similar age as him.
That is always a good sign, I must say.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Representative Andy Biggs, referring to a possible indictment, said this type of stuff only occurs in third world authoritarian nations. I say this from a third world authoritarian nation. You are right on the money, Representative Biggs. Adding, if they come for Trump, they will come for you too.
Yep.
And then Senator Lindsey Graham said during an event Saturday that the Manhattan District Attorney's Office has done more to help Donald Trump get elected president than a single person in America. And former Vice President Mike Mike the Fruit Machine Pence was critical of the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, prosecution prioritize suggesting the prosecution prioritize a crime wave in the city, and says instead a possible indictment as part of a politically motivated prosecution of the former president. And of course, Elon Musk said that if this happens, Trump will be reelected in a landslide victory.
Hmm.
And he's not wrong.
Also,
Uh,
people still believe in fair elections. They're adorable.
yeah.
Tell that to Carrie Lake. I'm gonna fight for the elections to be restored. Oh, whoops! Nope, nope. The judge isn't siding with me. Well, I guess I will see you at CPAC. Buy my T-shirt.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. What's this? Heroes right? That's just a bigger trap than Blair. Oh, yep. The truth was real. He actually does think he's going to be arrested. We'll find out on Tuesday. Let's see. My theory right now is he's making it seem like he's going to go to prison, but he knows that he's not going to go to prison. He's using this because he knows that if he doesn't go to prison, he goes.
Right.
He knows. Yeah. His pool numbers are going to go through the roof, and because, yeah, okay, I don't understand this. What is he doing? What was the whole lawsuit on DeSantis again?
Yeah, I didn't know we had a lawsuit going on with DeSantis.
Yeah, but then again, it could be wrong. As I said, we'll find out on Tuesday if they're gonna bust down the doors of Mar-a-Lago. Uh, whoops. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah, and this is the. Here it is. The Manhattan DA's office asked for a meeting with law enforcement ahead of possible Trump indictment. Yep. So they're going to meet with law enforcement next week, or this week, I should say. According to the source, the meeting was requested Thursday and hasn't been set. The meeting is to discuss logistics for sometime next week, which could mean that they are anticipating indictment this week. The source familiar with the planning said. Let's see. He calls the Trump spokesman Stephen Chung reacted to the news by calling Alvin Bragg's investigation of witch hunt and accusing him of being in the pocket of President Biden and the radical Democrats.
Oh shit!
And here's
Is that
the
reggaeton that I'm
potato
hearing?
again. What?
Is that reggaeton that I'm hearing coming through your window? Stop!
Yeah.
Stop!
It's just a car driving by. Bass boosted.
Mm.
Let's see. Yep. President Donald J. Trump is completely innocent. He did nothing wrong. Even the biggest, most radical left Democrats are making that clear. From Russia to the Miller hoax to impeachment hoaxes 1 and 2, and even the unlawful Mar-a-Lago raid, Democrats have investigated and attacked President Trump since before he was elected, and they failed every time. Yep.
I mean, they have such a hate boner for Trump that it's comical at this point. Like the whole Stormy Daniels thing, dude. Nobody remembers that shit anymore. Just let it go. Nobody cares. It's like the oh, go on. How about he shows us his tax returns? Who cares? Who fucking
Mm-hmm.
cares about his tax returns? Do you even pay your taxes? You Mr. Socialist smart guy? Fuck you. You don't care about that. You just hate the guy because the TV told you to hate him. You don't even know why. It's like the 2 minutes of hate. Like
Pretty much.
question. Do you guys really hate that in 1984 all those party members really hated Goldstein on the screen? No, they hated their lives, they hated the system, but Goldstein was the allowed scapegoat. It's the same for Trump. All these fucking bitter and happy assholes just need to take their existential rage onto someone, and that's what Trump is for. That's what Trump is being used for by the media. Let us
Wait,
proceed.
did you say Goldstein?
Emmanuel Goldstein.
That's
Or
that's that's. I think those people in 1984 should have cooled it with the anti-Semitism. You know.
I know, right?
Anyways, speaking of arrest warrants, the International Criminal Court judges issue arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin over alleged war crimes.
All right then.
Yep. Let's see. Um, they have issued a arrest warrant for Putin for overseeing the abduction of Ukrainian children, sending Russia another significant step up on the path to becoming a pariah state. In granting the request for warrants by the ICC prosecutor, a panel of judges agreed there were reasonable grounds to believe Putin and his children's rights commissioner, Maria Alexeyevna Lvova Belova,
Yeah,
man,
you
what a
know
name,
that chick. That chick.
bore responsibility for the unlawful deportation of Ukrainian children. The warrants are the first to be issued for crimes committed in the Ukraine war, and it is one of the rare occasions when the court has issued a warrant for a sitting head of state, putting Putin in the company of my dearly departed beloved Muammar Gaddafi. God, he was so hot back in the day. Would, would. And Sudanese President Omar al Bashir. Gaddafi, my beloved, was toppled and killed months after his warrant was announced. And Bashir was ousted and is currently in jail in Sudan, though he is yet to be transferred to The Hague. If he gets there without mysteriously his life
Be,
ending,
being Epstein, perhaps.
perhaps, uh, Putin is likely to evade justice in the near future, as Russia does not recognize the court's jurisdiction. So,
I don't think
jot
anyone
that
should, to
down.
be honest.
The what?
I don't think anyone should, to be honest. Did you guys ever hear about the Angels Alley in Ukraine? It's a
The,
place where all the names. There's a plaque where all the names of the Russian children. I think it's in the Donbass or one of those, Russian annexionated regions. There's a plaque with the names of all the children, all the Russian Ukrainian children killed by Ukrainian bombings. Nobody seems to have a problem with that. Nobody's issuing an international arrest order for Zelensky. I'm just saying. I'm just saying again. It doesn't seem like it's a matter of principle. It seems like it's a matter of objectives.
yeah, I mean, you may be onto something.
Mm.
In deciding to issue the warrants, the ICC pretrial chamber of judges considered keeping the warrants secret, but decided to make them public could contribute to the prevention of the further commission of crimes. Lol. LMAO even.
LMFAO even.
It's unclear how many children have been taken from Ukraine by Russian forces. Uh, this research lab published a report alleging that at least 6,000 children from Ukraine have been sent to Russian re education camps in the past year. And then this guy, Karim Khan, says incidents identified by my office include the deportation of at least hundreds of children taken from orphanages and children's care homes. That they said many of the children had been put up for adoption in Russia, and then Putin had issued a decree expediting the conferral of Russian citizenship on the children, making them easier to adopt. Let's see. Obviously, the Kremlin was defied in the face of the ICC announcement. It says the decision of the International Criminal Court has no meaning for our country, including from a legal point of view. The Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said on her Telegram channel, Russia is not a party to the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court and bears no obligation for it. And then Volodymyr Zelensky estimated the number of deported children at far more than 16,000, and that the warrants represented a historical decision which will lead to historic accountability. Yeah.
Uh, I'm calling bullshit. This is all, Putin is clearly not a globalist. Whether if you agree or disagree with him is like is a threat to their globalist plans. So first they want to take Trump out, and they want to take Putin out, and I guess at one point they'll have to want to take Xi Jinping out too.
What? My taste in men equals cab driver? Excuse me, have you seen... No. I am going to prove you wrong, you little leprechaun.
I do make a really sexy cab driver, I must say. I'm like a New York City cab driver or like a British cab driver. I'm the type of driver who was, hey, I'm driving here. Or I'm the kind of driver who was like, oh, what to mate? I went to go fucking Buckingham Palace, how we? Which one of them? Because they're radically different.
Look me in the eye. Look me in the eye and tell me that this man is a cab driver. No, he's not. He is the deadly North African leader of an independent country.
Is that Gaddafi?
Yeah, that's young Gaddafi.
Sure, looks like a Middle Eastern Ivan Drago, dude.
That's beautiful. He's gorgeous. And this one, oh, he's doing the sexy nerd thing. The glasses.
Well, if you have to choose a dictator, definitely go for that.
Here,
Hero
I don't
says
know,
that he looks like a cab driver.
he looks like Dwayne the Rock Johnson from the side a little bit. Ew! Wash your hands! Wash your hands, you! Wash your hands! Wash your hands! But yeah, that's Gaddafi with Justin Trudeau's real father. And he's
Does he
that
cosplaying
fruity
as
look,
Mother Teresa? I think that was
maybe
for a
that
Comic
fruity
Con.
look. And then here he's like a little bit older, but he's still got it. He's still got the look. And then yeah,
Look at that fucking afro, dude.
I know.
That's some disco shit right there.
Oh yeah, this one. I mean, he shouldn't have.
I think your strategy is not working for Hero. He says like he still looks like a cab driver.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
There's nothing wrong with being a cab driver, okay? Cab drivers also get married and have kids. At least 30% of them.
Oh, okay. Forcing myself to shut the Muammar Gaddafi.
Just do
Yes,
not.
yes, I do. Yes, I do. Like it's official. I do have the hots for Mediterraneans, be them Mediterranean Arabs or Italians or Greeks or Slavs, like in Croatia or yeah.
I guess I'm the type of cab driver that picks you up and he has like images of Virgin Mary and some Santeria stuff on the dashboard.
No, you got like love your version of the swastika and
Like voodoo.
maybe an ETA patch
I'm the
and
only
a picture of like Yosu Ternero
I'm the only
or,
I'm the,
or
the only
Sabino Arana.
I'm the only radical separatist Basque cab driver in Manhattan, probably the world too.
And you like you're blasting Oscori or whatever.
Nah, I would be more like Sutagarov, like those guys
Oh
who sound
yeah, the and Basque punk rock like
barricada,
Kortatu
barricada.
and Negugoryak.
Nah, fuck you, fuck Fermin Muguruza. He's a sellout. Nego Gorriak is the Basque Rage Against the Machine. They're all fucking sellouts.
La Polla Records,
La
definitely.
Polla Records is acceptable.
Okay. It says so. Just it's an ethics lawsuit against DeSantis.
Oh, okay.
What kind of ethics? Anyways,
That's probably better for another day because we have like what 30 minutes left, something like that.
yeah,
So
I'm
let's
trying to
get
get to it.
cracking.
I'm sorry, I got sidetracked by the delectable Muhammad Gaddafi. That's one of my weakness. If you want to distract me and like rob me and do other stuff, put up a picture of Muhammad Gaddafi
Just,
and
just, just throw a Middle Eastern dictator your way, and you'll get distracted.
yes. Anyways, protest strikes in France amid anger at Macron's pension reform.
You know what? I don't think Macron is the first crazy manlet that's ruled over France, but he's probably the worst.
I really should. One of these shows, I should really try finding that article that I saw where it claims that his wife is actually a man.
They always say that about all these globalist shit's wives. They say the same about our Pedro Sanchez's wife, Begoño.
Huh. What's her name?
Her name is Begoña, which I'm sure you guys know that a begonia is a flower.
Oh, she's a Basque, or she
I
just
think
has a Basque name.
well, not really, but she may be Basque after all. Like Begonia is a pretty common name in Spain, but
Hmm.
they call her Begonia because it's like Big Mike. She's like really tall and like has a square jaw and shit. So they
She's
always
probably
say
got
that. I don't know why.
massive Truckosaurus hands.
Yeah, man, he's like her hands look like fucking bananas.
Anyways, protesters and police in the French capital of Paris, have clashed in the third night as thousands took to the street across the country and workers at refineries went on strike to oppose the government's decision to raise the state pension age without a parliamentary vote. The growing unrest, combined with rubbish piling up on the streets of Paris after refuse workers joined in the action, has left President Emmanuel Macron with the gravest challenge to his authority since the so called Yellow Vest protests, which began in late 2018. Macron resigned and Macron is going to break down. We are going to win, demonstrators chanted on the Place d'Italie in southern Paris. Riot police used tear gas and clashed with some in the crowd as the rubbish bins were set on fire. And then authorities had banned rallies on Paris' central Place de la Concorde and nearby Champs-Élysées on Saturday night after demonstrations that resulted in 61 arrests the previous night. Um, early in the French cap. Earlier in the French capital, a group of students and activists from the Permanent Revolution Collective briefly invaded the Forum des Halles shopping mall, waving banners calling for a general strike and shouting, Paris, stand up, rise up. Let's see. People marched in towns and cities around the country after regional unions called for a weekend of protests. Let's see. Nothing more here, but I have some Twitter videos to share. Oh,
Give it.
here says it's ethics because for operating a shadow presidential campaign. Okay.
Hmm.
So this is like effigies of French politicians.
Fuck yeah! Fuck, that's what I want to see.
Burn, 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 baby, burn.
Remember, you are not supposed to make the French peasants angry.
Whoosh, the flames of fire.
I deem that protest extremely based.
Y'all need to do that in Spain, in Spain.
Yeah, but with the real people. Oh, sorry, no, allegedly. No, no, I'm not calling for violence. Or am I?
And then here we have Macron has banned the right to protest. The students have right to support the people because in the end, whether King Macron likes it or not, the people will decide.
And there's the cops, as I said. I think I already talked about that tonight, but there's the cops doing what they do. Apparently, the right to protest is now illegal. I don't really know the French constitution, but I'm pretty sure that, like, being as how they were like signers, like they signed the Declaration of Human Rights. I'm sure they're meant to defend people's rights, and the president just banned the right to protest. They're still like doing this baiting. So, fuck the police.
Fuck the police straight from the underground. Anyways, from the Daily Wire, home of Ben Shapiro.
It's just Mixes Pips Pants, okay? It's this Pips Pants thing, okay? You heard that? Can't avoid.
MX Pips Bunce, gender fluid executive at Credit Suisse, pushed for the WTF barbecue visibility as bank imploded.
What the fuck? How do we go like that one?
A senior executive at Swiss investment bank Credit Suisse, who claims to be non-binary and gender fluid, spent much of the past several years campaigning for W2F barbecue inclusion in the global financial system, as performance at the company declined. Womp womp.
What
Say
an
it with me, everyone.
unexpected turn of events, I must say.
Say it with me, everyone. Get woke. Go broke.
To quote one,
Financial institution.
to quote a wise man, as a wise man once said, with extreme wokeness must also come extreme brokenness.
Yep. The financial institution named several material weaknesses with respect to risk assessment strategy in a recently published annual report. Let's see. The Swiss Financial Market Supervisory Authority and the Swiss National Bank provided the company with $54 billion in liquidity on Thursday in order to prevent the collapse of the systematically important institution.
So let me get this straight again. Is wokeness gonna create the biggest financial crisis that Europe has seen in a while?
I mean, has it been? I mean, there were some. The reason why SVB failed is because wokies were coming in and be like, yeah, we want to loan and do this, and then we'll just focus on diversity and inclusion. Finances, we're not those. We need diversity and inclusion. Here's our new CEO. She's a black, non-binary, transgender demigirl who also believes she's a Therian.
Uh, uh, yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna go on.
Okay, Jordan Schachtel noted on social media that Bunce has accumulated many honors from the WTF barbecue activist entities and prominent organizations in the financial sector. The LinkedIn, his accounts list she, her, they pronouns. Half the profile picture of the account shows Bunce in a suit and tie, while the other half shows Bunce wearing makeup, a blonde wig, a red dress, and what appears to be fake breasts. So, no, I
Don't you find it hilarious that gender fluid basically non-binary basically means like a batch girl, a tomboy, or an effeminate guy? That's basically what it means.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm a gender fluid woman, so that means you are like a short like short hair and jeans,
So
right?
Bunce has worked at Credit Suisse for nearly 2 decades, including more than 8 years as the firm head of global markets core engineering integration components. Midnight, if you're still around, can you translate that to normal speak from global homo corporatees?
Yeah, because as he says in the comment section, he has experience working for these psychopaths.
Yep. They're fired for diversity, not competence. One fourth were expected to do with gun. Read it again. Ah, yes. Um, uh, he's the firm's head of global markets, core engineering integration components. What does that mean in normal speak? Anyways, the Bank of London featured one.
I think that makes him the director of things and stuff.
Yeah, the Bank of London featured Bunce as its Rainbow Honors initiative. It warms my heart to see so much work done to progress our world by being a more open, inclusive
He said it. He said the thing.
in space for all, in which everyone can live free with fear of prejudice, discrimination, hatred. Once wrote on LinkedIn, I am so very proud of all my colleagues here at Credit Suisse and many other firms and organizations. I work with each and every WTF barbecue ally really is a superhero. Okay, you can. Okay, don't break your arm jacking yourself off now. Okay, MX Bunce.
Let us not forget that he's saying all this about himself.
Oh my God,
He going this motherfucker.
you're gonna shit on this next sentence. Bunce has also been listed as one of the champions of women in business.
Fuck you. He's non-binary. Fuck you. He can't be a
He
woman.
doesn't
He's
believe
non-binary.
in
Fuck
women.
you. It's like when Vita Ayala is included in Woman of Marvel, but she's not a woman. She's non-binary. Well, she's a woman now because it's convenient for her. Fuck you.
Yeah. The executive defined intersectionality is not conforming to a nice single one box last year at a What the Fuck Barbecue conference hosted by consulting firm McKinsey and Company. Ah, God. I'm non binary.
You
How
are
is this
no.
possible? You're non binary, meaning you don't believe in male or female, but yet you say gender fluid and trans,
Can you
which
just like pick
you,
one
you
thing? Can you pick like one trendy thing to be?
gender fluid and trans need a binary to be what they are. And you say you're non-binary. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. That's
It
what you
doesn't
are.
make any sense. It doesn't
This is
make
why
any
this
sense.
is why
Pick one.
Credit Suisse is failing, and I hope it fails, and I hope it falls on to you, Bunce. You deserve that. You
Buns, you
deserve
dunce.
all the bad things in life.
How can you be non-binary and still change your gender at will? How are people supposed to refer to you? Like, am I
Yeah.
supposed to walk up to you every day and ask you, "Excuse me, thing, how do you identify today?" Well, not a woman, not as a man or a woman. Okay, so how do I call you? Like, if you,
Yeah. Midnight says that
yeah,
compliance is propaganda, so
yeah.
he's
So
he's basically the Joseph Goebbels of the bank.
I just,
Or should I
I,
say
I
he's
just,
both
I
the
just need to,
Joseph and Magda Goebbels of the bank?
I just need to understand. Okay, I'm really autistic when it comes to this shit, and I need the rule book. If I'm gonna play this game, I need to see the rule book. Like, okay, you are not a man and you are not a woman. So what are you? Well, I'm one of the infinite different genders. Okay, how are they called? Because I know one gender is called man and the other is called woman. How is your gender called? Sflegger? Are you a Sflegger? Is that a thing now? How can you be something that doesn't even have a name? How does that work?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm the bad type of trans who believes that you can only be one thing or the other. Not
You're the good kind of friend.
not a fey fair flingo fly
You are a good type of trans, the one that like does their stuff and leaves other people alone, and don't try to fucking cry bully them into playing along with these fucking delusions of
or
grandeur. Like,
fucking
I'm really special. I'm really
I
special.
don't
Born
call
to
you a
be.
fucking bigot if you don't want to stick your cisgender penis in my mangina.
Fuck me, or you're the worst person ever. Oh yeah, that's really convenient for you, isn't it?
Hmm. Anyways, the recent financial instability at Credit Suisse has been developing for years, but intensified days after Silicon Valley Bank, one of the largest financial institutions in the United States, collapsed after depositors rushed to withdraw their funds. And the company faced backlash in the wake of its collapse for an intense emphasis on DIE, which is diversity, inclusion, and equity.
It's die. Well, it sure is for the
Oh
company.
God, listen to this. Silicon Valley Bank neglected to fill its senior risk management role for most of last year, while Jay Ursapa, an executive in charge of risk management in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, described herself as a queer person of color from a working class background and organized WTF barbecue initiatives such as a month-long Pride campaign.
This all reads like a joke. Like the firemen break into the burning building and they're like, "What happened? How did the fire get started?" And there's this guy standing in the middle of the chaos. Oh, I'm a non-binary gender queer from a background from a proletarian background, and the firemen look at each other like, "Okay, yeah, we know what happened."
Yeah.
Laugh. That was a joke. God damn it.
Ha.
Uh, yeah,
Anyways,
it's actually sad.
yeah, I, you know what? I stand by. I hope Credit Suisse fails
Well, I mean,
and
if it
falls
fails,
on
I think it's
Bunce's
gonna drag.
shoulders.
I think it's gonna drag all the European banks with him. So with it.
Yeah.
So it's
All
gonna
right.
be. It ain't gonna be pretty for us Europeans. Let me tell you.
Well, anyways, this anaconda does not like Bunce, hun. Anyways, here's a
Alrighty then.
good story. First, we
Yeah,
must
I need
preface.
a white pill.
First, we must
I need
preface this with Vegano for Pope.
Oh, well, that's unexpected. That's
But
unexpectedly based from him.
Pope Francis says gender ideology is one of the most dangerous ideological colonizations. Thank you.
Oh shit. Maybe he got replaced. Have you guys seen that video in which like he walks back into his room from the balcony and he seems to disappear? Seen that video? Like, oh, everybody was like, "Oh shit, that's a hologram." You remember that he was like in 2020 or
Yeah,
2021. I
yeah.
don't remember. He was like, he was basically disappeared because he had like health
Okay. Theory
problems.
time. Theory time. Our beloved Cardinal Carlo Maria Vigano, yes, he secretly got plastic surgery to look like Pope Francis. Yes, are you still following me?
I am.
And he replaced Pope Francis, so now he is the true Pope.
Oh shit, he's like maybe he's wearing one of those Mission Impossible holographic mask thingies from the last movie, and
Maybe
he's operating as the Pope, not Vigano for Pope.
Vigano for Pope.
Vigano for Pope. Deus Volt. Oh, that's the dream, isn't it?
Yes. Why is it dangerous? Because it blurs the difference in value of men and women. The Pope said, "Oh my God, this is the. I am convinced. Pope Carlo Maria Vigano. He is wearing a Pope
Don't say,
Francis
don't say,
mask."
don't say it too loud. We don't want to alert our enemies.
Ah,
He's supposed to
yes,
be
I know.
blending. He's supposed to blend in.
Anyways, Pope Francis on Friday slammed gender ideology is dangerous, arguing could lead to the erasure of humanity when people stop recognizing the difference between men and women. The Catholic leader, who has previously been considered to be a relatively progressive pope due his public statements on the criminalization of homosexuality being unjust, gave an interview to the Argentinian newspaper La Nación, in which he said, Gender, gender ideology today is one of the most dangerous ideological colonizations. Based.
Beast.
He continued the interview, saying, Why is it danger? Why is it dangerous? Because it blurs the difference and the value of men and women. All humanity is the tension of differences. It is to grow through the tension of differences, Pope Francis argued. The question of gender is diluting the differences and making the world the same, all dull, all alike, and that is contrary to the human vocation.
Oh fuck.
Oh
That's
my God! Oh
based.
my Lord! Lord Jesus!
Hallelujah.
I have seen the light of God, and I decided to embrace the true Catholic Church.
Oh shit. Well, okay. Don't freak out now. This may be
Okay.
just a phase.
I know.
But this is so fucking
It's
based
called
of him.
hyperbole. It's
I'm
called hyperbole.
this is probably the least thing that I expected to read today. Like I don't know if how you say that's how you say that. It's like
Let's see. According to the head of the Catholic Church, the push for global acceptance of left-wing gender theories from people who may have good intentions, not really, but do not distinguish what is respect for sexual diversity or diverse sexual preferences from what is already an anthropology of gender. Okay. Which he says extremely dangerous because it eliminates differences and that erases humanity, blah, blah, blah. On homosex, the Pope maintained as recently as January that while any sexual relations outside the marriage are sinful, gay activity is not a crime. So you hear that, my fellow gays? You gotta be married. And the Pope says it's okay. It's okay if you want to do butt stuff. It's not a crime, yes, but it's a sin. Fine. But first, let's distinguish between a sin and a crime, he said. Nothing that it's also a sin to lack charity with one another. But yeah, finally based.
holy
Something
shit.
finally based.
I am honestly surprised. I wasn't expecting this like at all.
Maybe he was replaced.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe Vigano was like, fuck this shit. Okay, have that guy killed. I'm taking over.
Remember. Ahem. Paulo, Hero, Midnight. We're the hashtags in the chat.
That's true. I missed the hashtag, guys. Where is it?
Yeah, where's the hashtags? Vegano for Pope. Fine, I'll do it myself.
What if you identify as black?
You're
What if,
welcome.
what if you are transracial? Because that's a thing, right? You can be transracial.
I don't know. Let's check it. Anyways.
Anyway.
Gives me that for free, white man.
Give me that for free, Cracker.
San Francisco Reparations Committee proposes $5 million for each eligible black resident. While neither San Francisco nor California formally adopted the institution of chattel slavery, the tenets of segregation, white supremacy, and systematic oppression and exclusion of black people were codified through legal and extra-legal actions. Oh boy. San Francisco's Reparations Committee, convened in 2021, has proposed that black longtime residents be given $5 million in debt forgiveness due to the city's history of systematic repression. This word salad committee right here, the word salad community right here says, the public policies explicitly created to subjugate black people in San Francisco by upholding and expanding the intent and legacy of chattel slavery. Remember, California has never been a slave state. Even when the Spanish were there, they never brought slaves.
Well, the question you should ask yourself is, what is in it for them? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. The
Because
specific,
every fucking time they claim to want to do something for the people, for the oppressed minorities, there's always something in it for them.
I'm gonna say is that a lot of melanin rich people gonna be having like Lambos and Bugattis, or wearing Gucci and Versace.
Are you gonna give reparations to, like, I don't know, Denzel Washington or like Samuel Jackson? Like, do they need more money? Oprah needs more money now.
Yep. Anyways, the specific recommended actions listed including providing a one-time lump sum payment of $5 million to each eligible person, with the
What?
rationale being that a lump sum payment would compensate the affected population for the decades of harms that they have experienced and will redress the economic and opportunity losses that black San
Okay,
Franciscans have
okay, okay.
endured.
So time out. So okay, so these my beloved commies who think that capitalism is bad because it only thinks about money and material wealth, think that the best way to uh, repair the damage done to people is by giving them money. Hey, how would you go on about to, like, retribute these people for all the pain that have gone through? I don't know. Give them the money, right?
Whitey's got to pay. Well,
Give them
not
the money.
just Whitey, but also the Asians and the Hispanics.
What about the Irish?
Oh, they got to pay too. And the Italians too.
Native Americans too? Well, they did own slaves, to be
Yep.
honest.
Anyways, will redress the economic and opportunity losses that black San Franciscans have endured collectively as the result of both intentional decisions and unintended harms perpetuated by a city policy. The draft also proposed that the income of African Americans be supplemented to reflect the area median income annually of at least 250 years, and the AMI in San Francisco was 97,000. Oh, God. Racial disparities across all metrics have led to a significant racial wealth gap in the city of San Francisco. By elevating income to match AMI, black people can. Oh, do you know who else has to foot the bill? Uh, the Pajeets, too.
Of course.
Yeah, just the Pajeets are. What? We are not paying them people? No, we do not. We take our money to India. No, sir. No, sir. Do not redeem. You are not redeeming my. You are not redeeming my money. You are not redeeming for your reparation. Get out of my store. Get out of my store. I see you come in with hoodie.
Okay, that was extremely racist, but also hilarious. So I'll allow it.
Please, sir, do the needful and leave my shop, and please empty your pockets as well. It also calls for a spectrum of financial education. We could do that without paying them a lot of money, you know?
Maybe, just maybe, if you gave them actual financial education, they would learn that what you are about to do is stupid, detrimental to everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep, here are the actions. Provide a one time lump sum payment of $5 million to each eligible person. Supplement African American income of lower income households to reflect the area median income for at least 250 years. Provide access to a spectrum of financial education. This should be number one, and this should have been done way before this. This too, create a public bank framework to ensure that unbanked people have fair options and expanded access to credit, loans, and financing. And recruit a black-owned community bank in San Francisco or expand an existing institution with a black-owned partner financial institution or a Freedmen's Bank. You want to see the requirements?
Of course I do.
Okay. Eligibility for reparations. So, required. An individual who is identified as a black African American on public documents for at least 10 years
Okay.
or 18 years or older.
You must meet. You must meet at least two
Two
criteria
criteria
from
for
the.
the following
Oh,
list. You
wait.
must have supporting documentation. Born in San Francisco between 1940 and 1996 and has proof of residency in San Francisco for at least 13 years. Migrated to San Francisco between 1940 and 1996 and has proof of residency in San Francisco for at least 13 years. Um, that those would be like the Mexicans, maybe. Personally or the direct descendant of someone incarcerated by the failed war on drugs. Record of
Okay.
attendance in a San Francisco public schools during time of the consent decree to complete desegregation within the school system. Descendant of someone enslaved through U.S. chattel slavery before 1965. Isn't that like pretty much the majority?
I mean, pretty much every black person who came to the U.S. before 1865 was a slave, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But I believe you had your freedmen who also had slaves.
I mean, whites didn't invent slavery.
Displaced or the direct descendant of someone displaced from San Francisco by urban renewal between 1954 and 1973. Listed or the direct descendant of a certificate of preference. What? A certificate of preference holder. What? What is that? I will look that up later. Member of an historically marginalized group that experienced lending discrimination in San Francisco between 1937 and 1968, or subsequently experienced lending discrimination in a formerly redlined San Francisco community between 1968 and 2008.
So, does that mean that also the Chinese can ask for reparations? Except I don't.
Nope, sir. It's a requirement that you have to be black. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
so
Right.
so my Asian brother, and if you want to, you identify yourself as Blackanese. I can say that because that's from Rush Hour. That's how Chris Tucker identified himself. He's Blackanese. Remember?
I just want to see a flood of white people trying to identify as black.
Well, I mean, wasn't that Plessy versus Ferguson? There was a guy named Homer Plessy who looked pretty much white, but he had like black ancestors. So they can use that.
Oh man, it's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be like the trans laws here in Spain. Like the thing that they said wasn't gonna happen is happening. Like there's a fucking surge rush of guys running to town hall to change the record and identify themselves as women
Yep.
all across the country.
You know what? You should. You know what? You should do that. You should. You should just go and say, "I'm a
I am
woman
a
now," and
woman.
then come back on Twitter as Ibai. You can either use the Shibai pictures that I made or the picture of your grandma.
Actually, Ibai is a gender neutral name in Basque,
Mm,
and Ibai is like Casey or something like that in English.
yeah,
One of those names.
Casey or Corey or
Yeah,
even
something
by
like that.
dead name.
So that's basically that's Ibai in Basque. It works for men and women.
Hmm. Oh, we have so much. Yeah.
Okay. Can we make
Funny
this one
how
the last
that's
one?
confusing.
Can we make this one the last one because it's getting late?
But I okay. Before you, we'll do this. And then I had like a couple funny videos to show to let you know.
All right. Yeah, Brittany
Hero
Bendis.
says Brittany Venti is black even though she looks white.
I remember a comic book by this guy who's not particularly he's not a particularly bad writer. Brian something something is a black guy, and he made a comic for Image, like a noir comic about a black FBI agent who can pass for white and infiltrates the KKK. Like, how are you black if you can pass for white? Doesn't that make you white?
Well,
How does that work?
I mean, there's also African albinos
I know,
too.
but like if you are physically white and people see you as white, how are you black? Like how does that work?
I mean, still got like the genetics, I guess.
I guess
You
like
got those Negroid genetics, I guess. Anyways,
I don't know, I'm just confused by this whole thing.
Hunter Biden countersues laptop repairman for breach of privacy after laptop turned over to FBI in media. According to Hunter, he didn't remember dropping off the laptop, but he conceded that his memory was not the best because you're a crack whore. Because
Basically.
he's a little crack whore. Let's see. Um, let's see. Hunter Biden has made his first legal attack since his infamous laptop emerged after being abandoned in a computer repair store and distributed, accusing shop owner John Paul Mac Isaac and others of invasion of privacy. The first son. Yeah, right. Who is still not.
This is like the robber that sues the house owner that shot him. I
Yeah.
was just trying to rob him. That doesn't justify me being shot.
Uh,
Yeah, sure, I'm a pedophile and a child trafficker, but that doesn't justify people looking into my fucking folders. My hard drive was a piece of shit.
mm. Let's see. The first son filed a countersuit against Mac Isaac Friday morning, whose own lawsuit filed last year accuses Hunter of defamation for saying that he had illegally obtained the information in the laptop. This is not an admission by Mr. Biden that Mac Isaac or others, in fact, possessed any particular laptop containing electronically stored data belonging to Mr. Biden. Hunter's filing state. Rather, Mr. Biden simply acknowledges at some point Mac Isaac has obtained electronically stored data, some which belong to Mr. Biden. According to Mac Isaac, the contents of the laptop legally came into his possession when Hunter abandoned it. Is he wrong? Yeah. The tech repairman has cited a signed receipt that notified the owner that their device would be forfeited if not picked up within 90 days, but Hunter's attorney said this is still illegal. I mean,
That reeks of desperation. Is I think he's in
mhm.
like Amber Heard mode. Well,
Yeah,
now I'm
but
gonna sue the judge, and now I'm gonna sue my own lawyer, and I'm gonna. Dude, stop. It's like it's making you look worse.
then again, Delaware law states that personal property can only be deemed abandoned after 1 year, and that other steps must be taken before claiming it, such as posting public notices and asking the owner to retrieve it. Yeah. Let's see. Contrary to Mac Isaac's claim, he admits in his recently published book and another media appearance that he has actually begun accessing what he claims he had as his possession as Mr. Biden's data long before the 90 days had its expired for when he claims any property or data was left in the shop, the lawsuit says. Uh, let's see. Reputable computer companies repair people routinely delete personal data contained on devices that are exchanged, left behind, or abandoned. They do not open, copy, and then provide the data to others, as Mac Isaac did here. In the 42-page filing, Hunter's attorney detailed how their client's sensitive communications and photos became public and attempted to reframe the story to look at him as a private citizen whose privacy was allegedly invaded rather than an influence predator. Wrong. But yeah,
Yeah.
Hunter Biden being crackhead Hunter Biden.
What else is new?
Anyways, it's a shame that uh, Midnight isn't here physically because I want to hear his topics on this podcast host. That's a group of girls. What is a woman? And none of them can answer because they're clearly scared of the left wing cancel mob. Oh,
So what? I guess my
oh god, this is so demoralizing.
question is, you said that they're both women, right? So what is a woman?
A woman is anyone who wants to identify as one.
A cat is a cat because they are a cat. That's not like
I feel like
this isn't a gotcha. It's just a
Yeah,
genuine.
what is a woman? Like,
people
Hold
are-
on. Hold on. Go ahead.
I didn't have anything to say yet.
But what is a woman? No, but what is the definition of what is a woman?
I don't know. I'm confused now.
I don't know. I'm confused.
I understand what your argument is. If I come out and I say a woman is someone who was born biologically a woman, I understand that that's where you're coming from, and I agree. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But I personally, as an individual, respect trans people. I
Sure.
respect trans women. So I'm
this doesn't have anything to do with what he asked.
validate them by saying that. I understand completely where you're coming from, but just from my personal preference, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Answering the question. Okay. No, hey, that's okay. What about you?
I'm just not really interested in having this conversation about trans people anymore. Because you seem very clear.
And I hate it because anymore.
Well, I am trying to understand. I'm just trying to get people's perspective. So what is a woman?
I'm gonna say what she said.
Can a minor identify as adult? Can an Asian identify as a Latino? Get to
I
the
feel like
point.
that's like not. I don't know. I feel like there's a better question that could be asked in this situation. We all
I don't think
respect
so, Lass.
the trans community enough and like invalidating that, like telling they believe that they are a woman or they're a man, transgender, whatever, and invalidating that is not it's not our position. It's not our place to say
Why
what
not?
it can and can't be.
Allie,
Why
what is a
not?
woman?
Well, a woman is an adult human female. It's the same thing like a man is an adult human male.
Fuck
XX
it.
chromosomes, that means you're a woman. There are
Fuck it,
people
that's
that
it.
are born intersex. They're an incredible minority.
Yeah,
And,
she's speaking the
you know,
truth,
men
and other
are
women are like,
m-
oh my
humans and
god,
have XY
this
chromosomes.
bitch, this
The
bitch,
fucking body language. They're like, oh my god,
oh my god, this bitch. You can collectively see all their brains going.
Look, I remember the time as a leftist when they used to tell us that letting a small minority dictate how we live was a bad thing. You know, because leftist policies inherently believe that majority, you know,
Yep.
is always right. And that's like, I don't exactly believe that idea. I just find it fascinating how they've gone from like, we can't let the 1% dictate how we live to let's let the 0.1% dictate how we live. Right? You know what I'm saying, right?
You know, hey, you know what? I know this may sound bad, but I'm eagerly awaiting the trans suicide numbers to jump to 50% because I want to make that joke, despite being 0.1% of the population.
Oh man,
Anyways.
it's ridiculous.
But yes,
Like,
I'm a filthy trunimal, and I do agree. A woman is an adult human female with 2 X chromosomes and most often a vagina, a uterus, ovary, and some bobs.
like I don't understand how people are cool with living in fear of offending a collective. I don't know if they're like afraid of offending them because they might hurt them, or because they're afraid the collective might hurt them. You know, because it takes me back to what I said about Back Angel and him wondering, and not how I call him a he, because you know he presents himself as a man, so I have no problem addressing him as a man. But he wondered what the fuck is going on with the trans community. This is what is going on. They've become scary to normal people. They've become so
said,
fucking so
been-
so militant and so unhinged that people are afraid of them.
It's because they've been infiltrated by the the Discord mods and the unhinged of society.
It's like nerds, dude. Like nerds were always like, you know, oh, we have more.
Yep.
Gotta go get this.
Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, I've seen this one.
They took our beautiful bench. This is where we waited
So
for
these are
Jussie
the
to
two
come
guys
before
who
we
did
attacked
the
him.
hate crime on
Two
Jussie.
Nigerian
So we
brothers.
got
The
here
white
with 10 minutes to
supremacists.
spare, and we had to plan our escape route to survey the land. His building is actually right here, right above the stairs that we're going to attack him at. We made sure we got there at 2 a.m. sharp.
On the dot.
On the dot. We had no phones because he did not want us to bring any phones. He said, so we don't lose them. I don't know if that's really the reason, but you can deduce your own reason. So 2 a.m., he was nowhere to be found. He was not there. So we were like, damn, what do? We didn't have no way of contacting him. He had no way of contacting us. So we waited here for about, what, 4 minutes?
It was about 4
Roughly
minutes,
4 minutes.
but it felt like forever.
Because it was cold as balls. So I saw him out the corner of my eye, and I was like, okay, that's him. Let's go. Gotta go get this Empire fat. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Is that him?
That's that neck.
Is that Nick?
Get that neck.
He's moving fast. Come on, let's get him.
Get that neck.
Let's get him. As we crossed the street, we said, hey, to get his attention.
Hey, Nick.
Hey. He turned around, looked at us, and that's when we started yelling the famous slurs he wanted us to yell. Hey,
aren't you that Empire?
Hey, Empire fat Nick. It's MAGA country.
Yeah.
And then he said, what did you say to me? And then that's when I threw the first punch at him. I held the blow because I didn't want to hurt him, of course. So I made it look real, but I held it. Then we started tussling, moving around, and then I threw him to the ground. He wanted it to look like he fought back. That was very important for him because he said, hey, don't just beat my ass, make it look like I'm fighting back and whatnot. So we did that, and then I threw him to the ground. And after I threw him to the ground, he had no bruise. I wanted it to look more real. So then I threw him to the ground. After I threw him to the ground, I used my knuckle and gave him a noogie. So I went like this. Why did I do that? To give him a scar, to give him a mark, to make it look real, like he really did get his ass beat. After I did that, I fake kicked him. I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't paying attention.
That's where I came around with the bleach, the infamous bleach in the hot sauce bottle, poured it on his shirt. Then I finally put the rope around his face. I did not put it around his neck. I just placed it on his face, and that's when we took off.
All right.
Geniuses.
All right, it's getting really late. Can I go now?
Last video, okay?
Okay.
Very short.
You promise?
Hold on. This is payback for the other time. Anyways.
Something. Do you need something? Do you need something? Okay, I thought so. Keep pushing.
If you're being rude, you can leave. Nobody was looking at you any type of way. I don't own the gym, I work here.
Okay.
Yes. And
That
if you're
means
being
what?
rude, then you can leave.
That means what?
I can call the police and have you trespass right now. Would you like that?
Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead, let him know.
That's what we'll do. So right now, I need you to take your stuff and head up front. All right.
Cut the cameras. Something. Do you need
Good. Good. As I've been lucky enough to not having to deal with this type, but my dad has had to deal with the type. And they're fucking plague at gyms. Luckily, my dad gives zero shits about it. He's like nearing 70. He's been like, I don't know, all sorts of violence inflicted on him. And he's like, whenever one of these chicks comes along, and she's like, well, you know what? I'm not gonna throw kicks today because I'm on my period. And he's like, bitch, you're gonna do whatever the fuck I tell you to do. Shut up and hit the fucking pads. Okay.
You're being so rude, Mr. Canales.
And it's fascinating how what some people say seem to be true. It's all a shit test. It's all a shit test. They just want to see how far can they push you. And when you push back, they actually respect you. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like 90%, 99% of women who try to pull that shit with my dad actually stay in the gym and become like really obedient trainees.
If not for his busted aorta, he would be throwing hands.
Oh, he actually throws hands. Like he just like wears this body armor that he made out of a piece of foam and an old T-shirt.
Okay.
No, he still fights. He fights. He goes to spar at a friend's gym every Thursday morning, and he chaos little, well, not little boys, like he chaos teenagers and like 20-something-year-olds like easily. He's a fucking beast.
Damn. Good on him. Anyways, let's wrap this up. What do you got planned for this week?
Well, just draw, gym, play some Quake, which is what I do now. I play Quake Champions, so if you guys want like download the game and fight me, fucking hell.
Yep. Women crave authority. They got yep.
Yep. Yeah, it's a shit test, man. They don't even know what the fuck they want. Anyway, yeah. How about we wrap this up?
Yeah. And me, I'm probably gonna be working, taking care of the Mew, doing my own stuff.
You are now a dedicated arts and craft artisan, if you pardon my redundancy, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, you're a pretty busy person right now.
Anyways, that's the show. That's the show.
The show
was See you again next Sunday. Hopefully,
yes,
it's gonna be interesting.
I'm sure it will. We'll see if Trump has actually been arrested. By then, we should know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Bye, family.
Let's see you again around.
Bye.
Adios.